Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lauren if you're new here. If you're not new, hopefully you have been following along my project pan. This has been a 6-month project and May was the 5th month. So I wanted to give you a little update on how I'm doing with my project pan. Now, during these videos, what I like to do is I have a Excel spreadsheet in front of me and I like to go through all the products, let you know how many times I've used them, how I'm feeling about them, have I used them more or less than last month, and we're gonna go through the reasoning why each of these products are in my project pan as we go through them. So we will be talking about the products quite a bit, but this is a 6-month project pan, down 5 months. We have 1 month to go. This month, I was like, I really wanna do a good job. I really wanna use these products more than any of the previous months, and we achieved that, so that's really exciting. Oh, I have to sneeze. So enough of me just chatting. We're gonna just start going through these products and talking about how I did in the month of May. Now, I always like to give a little kind of introduction spiel to my project pan, where I talk about how the products that I've chosen are not necessarily products that I'm trying to finish completely, but they are products that I'm trying to get a better understanding for and more usage out of. So either I'm not really sure how I feel about them, or they've been sitting in my collection so long, just kind of languishing about, and like they need to be used. I need to use them. So those are kind of the two reasons behind the items that I picked for this project pan. And yeah, okay. Enough talking. Let's get into this. So we have 2 primers in my project pan. The first one is the Freck Rich Bitch Primer, and it's this little guy here, and you're gonna see yellow tape on all of my items in my project pan, and I do that so I can keep track of them. So that's what the tape is for. But I used this guy a total of 5 times in the month of May. Last month I used it 10 times, but this brought my total usage to 34 times. So used it quite a bit. I do wish the packaging was see-through so we could see how much of an effort has really got into it. Like, what are we close to pan with this one? You just don't know until you hit pan. So that's kind of like a little bit of a bummer, but we're using it. This one is really weird. It's very sticky. It dries down well though. I do like it as a primer, but I'm actually surprised because this second primer in my project pan I have kind of been obsessed with. So this is the Stila One Step Primer. Now, this has been in my project pan since the beginning. I did change out some products after 3 months because some I had finished, I wanted to add some new stuff in there, and some I had just kind of decided my final opinion on. But this one has been in there from the beginning and I just did not use it for quite a few months. Last month was the first month that I used it. Last month I used it 7 times. This month I used it 19 times. So pretty much every single day in May I used a primer from my project pan. And so that brought my total amount of usage to 26 times. And I actually just posted a video on Thursday where I showed you kind of, I did a get ready with me with the items in my project pan, and this kind of like spawned that video, like the idea for that video, because it's so weird and it creeped me out. It really creeped me out. But this is a fantastic primer. It works so well with every single foundation I pair it with. Yes, it looks weird when I squirt it out. It looks almost chunky, and that's because it's not mixed in here, right? You gotta kind of mix it in your hands before you put it on your face. Now, I will say this is a correcting primer. I don't really find it to be super correcting, but I also go in with a pretty thin layer. I think if you want to see this work in a more correcting kind of way, you gotta do more. You gotta put on a heavier amount, but I go in pretty light. But I just love this one so much more than the Freck. So I've been reaching for this one over and over again. The Freck, it doesn't sink into your skin quite as well as the Stila one. It sits a little bit on top of your skin. So it doesn't work perfectly with every single foundation I paired it with, but the Stila has. So that's why I love the Stila right now. Let's move on to foundations. The first foundation I have is the Dior Forever Natural Nude in 1.5. As you can see, we've got a dip in it, which did not exist when we started this project. Now, I used this a total of 8 times in May, only 7 times in April, so at least there's one more, but I've used this a total of 33 times, and that is as big as the dip is. Like, so it just goes to show you these products last a long time, right? This was in my project pan because it was an older formula. They reformulated this foundation since I've bought it. So I'm like, okay, it's getting old and it's Dior. First of all, I think Dior makes some of the best foundation out there. But second of all, I wanted to get my money's worth. So that is why this is in the project pan. It's really good. I really do like this foundation quite a bit, and I am just continuing to use it. Okay, so this one, Dark Horse, Patrick Ta foundation. This is the cream foundation and finishing powder duo. I have mine in Fair 4. I talked about this in every single update where I was like, okay, I don't think the weather is right for this product because it is a thicker consistency. I typically don't like super heavy foundations, so I just felt like this one would work better in warmer weather when my skin is a little bit not as dry as it is in the winter. So I held off on using it until literally this month. So I used it 8 times though this month, bringing my total amount of usage to 8. But you can kind of see there is like quite a dip in it. I like to use my beauty sponge when I use it, so I just dip the sponge in there, and I don't use the powder. The powder is just not great. I don't like the powder. It does nothing for me, so I kind of stay away from the powder. But this foundation is really good. This is another one that I used in the Get Ready With Me, so you can see what it looks like. Today I made a mistake. Today I actually paired this foundation with this primer, and I do not love the mix of the two. This just needs something to sit on top of that helps kind of blur your pores a little bit, or else I do find that it emphasizes your pores more. So when I paired it today with the Rich Bitch primer, I just felt like my pores were so much more obvious. So much more obvious. So didn't love that, but really I do like this foundation quite a bit. Now, I brought up in the Get Ready With Me, I think that this foundation may have broken me out. I need to consistently use it for a week and see if it breaks me out, because I took a break from it. I didn't know. It could have been stress. It could have been anything. I don't know, but I really need to test it really dedicatedly. Just be dedicated to this little guy and really figure out if it does break me out, because I really hope not, but I'm not sure. Okay, we have a product, I call it kind of like a skin illuminator. You can use these products a couple different ways, but this is from Fenty. This is the Ease Droplet All Over Glow Enhancer in the color Pink Pearl. Typically what I use this for is I use it in a kind of drier foundation to mix it in with to give it a little more hydration. Now, this product in particular, I have a ton of products similar to this. I mean, I like to mention the most popular one that kind of popularized this kind of product, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Backstage Glow. Nope, Charlotte Tilbury All Over. The Charlotte Tilbury one, you know what I'm talking about. I know you do. But the Charlotte Tilbury one has so much more glow to it. I feel like there's a noticeable difference in what the foundation looks like when I use the Charlotte Tilbury. Like, there's definitely more of a glow. This one, it's a little too subtle. It's a little too subtle. It's still good for adding hydration into a drier foundation, but I just wish it was a little more, less subtle, you know? Now, I only use this twice in May. This is not a product that I would mix with like a cream foundation at all. And it's typically not a product that I would mix with something that's already pretty hydrating, because that just leaves my foundation a little too wet. So the 2 foundations we have in my project pan are not ones that I pair with this. Something to take note on when I pull my products for my next project pan, hopefully picking stuff that works better together. But it's definitely something that I use when there's a couple foundations that I have, like the Hourglass foundation. It's a little bit on the drier side, still really pretty, but this just goes the distance with it. So it's not something that I used a lot this month. I used it a total of 15 times during my project pan. And yeah, hopefully we'll get more use out of that in my final month. Next up are the concealers. So the first concealer that I have is from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is their all over concealer in the color One Fair, and it's this little guy. And I like this concealer when I don't need a lot of coverage. It works well when I just kind of like just a little bit of freshness on the face. It doesn't do a great job covering up anything necessarily, but it does a good job, I think, like evening everything out. Now, I used this 5 times in May, bringing my total amount of usage to 26 times. I'm determined to hit the bottom of this thing. It's so tiny, and I still have not hit the pan. So we're working on it. We're working on it. I still like it, but just for when I'm looking for kind of much lighter makeup for the day. Now, this next concealer, I go back and forth on. This is the Sephora, Best Skin Ever Full Coverage Multi-Use Concealer. I have mine in the color 4N. I used this a total of 8 times in May. Now this one was a new one to my project pan at the 4-month mark, so I've only used it a total of 12 times, and I swear to God, I go back and forth on it every single time I use it. Sometimes I hate it, sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it. It's a little bit of everything. It's just heavier than what I typically like, so I have to remind myself before putting it on to go in with a light hand, and then it tends to look pretty good, but I do find that it settles into my fine line like most heavy concealers do throughout the day. So if I do need heavier coverage, I will reach for this one, but I don't know if it's something that I would reach for at the end of this project pan. I don't know if I love it enough. I don't dislike it as much as I did when I first started using it, but I just don't know if I love it. It does a good job though, concealing. It's just almost too good a job. I'm in my mid-30s. I do have fine lines. I don't want those to be emphasized. And I do feel like throughout the day, I can see them getting emphasized by this product. So I don't know if it'll get decluttered in December when I do my massive declutter. We will see. Ooh, okay, setting powders. We have 3 setting powders. They're all different colors. They're all beautiful. The first one is from Becca. This is their Soft Light Blurring Powder in Pink Haze. It's pink. I'm gonna try to be careful opening it. As you can see, it is pink. It is very pink. This product, let's see, I used it a total of 6 times in May. This was newer. Again, this is one of the ones I switched in the halfway mark. So I've only used it a total of 8 times, and I do like it, but I think the issue I'm having is I like one of the other setting powders in my project pan a little bit better. Pink is supposed to kind of be a brightening setting powder, and I think it is, but I definitely have to be careful not to go in with a heavy hand with this one either, because it doesn't look, it looks too matte if I go in with too much of a heavy hand. So I go in pretty light, and I think that kind of gives me the perfect amount of powder and setting ability, and I like it. I do. It's a really fine setting powder, which I like. But okay, we're just gonna talk about it. It's the Fenty Pro Filter setting powder. I have mine in the color lavender. I have just found that lavender is the perfect color for a setting powder for me. It brightens so much better than the pink ones do. So let me try to open it. Now, both of these have water spots on them because I leave them by my sink so I can reach for them easily. And unfortunately, that means they get sometimes splashed by water. So if they look dirty, I am sorry, but it's so I can use them. But this is just the best setting powder, okay? Now, I put it in my project pan because I honestly didn't remember how I felt about it, and I was like, well, let's put it in, let's use it. Now, I used this one a total of 5 times in May, bringing my total to 17 times. This is another one that I switched in at the halfway mark, and it's hard for me not to use it every day because I would use it every day. It's so good. It just is so finely milled, brightens up my face. It's just a really beautiful powder. I feel like I have neglected my poor Chanel Le Beige setting powder. This is in the color Light. This is another product that's been reformulated since I purchased it. So that's why it's in my project pan, so I could use it. But another reason why it's in my project pan is, if you couldn't tell, I thought it was too dark for me. I really did. I saw this and I was like, well, that is not my shade. How is that light? But when you apply it to your face, it is light. It's very lightly colored. So it's not an alarming shade of orange, which is kind of what it looks like in the pan. Now, I only used this 3 times in the month of May, and this has been in my project pan since the beginning. So I've actually used this a total of 40 times. Before, the ridges, you could see them like all straight across, and now it's a flat top. So we've definitely put in the work. This is great. If I want something fast and easy, this is the setting powder I go to. Loose powders, I feel like you just need to be a little more careful and a little more patient. But this guy, I can just whip out and put in my T-zone and I'm good to go. It's a great powder. It's a great powder. Is it as good as the Fenty? I think I like the Fenty better, but this is still a really good powder. Okay, we are on to bronzers. The first bronzer that I'm going to talk about is from Melt Cosmetics. This is the cream blush light in the color Lynx. And I use this one in the Get Ready With Me because it's actually a blush. It's not a bronzer. I use it as a bronzer. And the thing is, it looks so orange in here, but I don't feel like it looks that orange on my face. Watch the Get Ready With Me. Please tell me if it does look orange. It can look orange. If I go in with a heavy hand, it does not look good. It does not. But if I go in with a light hand, it gives me such a beautiful kind of like sun-kissed glow. I look tan. It's great because I never look tan. But it's just an interesting product, and it was one that was being completely neglected in my collection, which is why it's in this project pan. I wanted to use it, and it was at that point where I was like, okay, if I don't use it, I'm just gonna get rid of it because it's just sitting here. I'm not using it, and I wasn't even quite sure how to use it at that point. But now we know. I do like it as a bronzer. This is another one though where I'm like, okay, once this project pan is over, is this a product that I would be reaching for? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We're gonna have to see how summer goes because I feel like this really is a great color for summer. But let's see, I used it 3 times this month, and this one was also switched in at the halfway mark. So I've used it a total of 6 times, and I've really been liking it. The next one has been in my project pan since the beginning. This is the Westman Atelier Contour Stick in the color Biscuit. This one is another one. I had so many mixed feelings about it. Now that we're 5 months down for the project pan, I kind of am more comfortable on my feelings with this product. Now, I used it a total of 7 times this month, bringing my totals to 23 times. And oh man, okay, maybe I'm not as 100% sure on it as I thought I was. Okay, well, first off, it used to snap shut. It used to be magnetized, the cap, and it's not anymore, so the cap falls off really easily. How do you fix that? Does anybody know? I don't think you can. It's very annoying though. Now, the thing about this product is it's so easy to blend into oblivion, but as a cream product, I do really like it. I just have to be careful not to blend too much or else it's gone. It's gone, you can't see it. I do like the color. It says it's more of a neutral, cool tone color. Not as neutral as I like. I like a good neutral bronzer because I am so fair. My skin tends to like more neutral leaning products. And this is a little bit warm, but I do like it. I don't dislike it. I just have so many cream products at this point, cream bronzers. It's like, will I reach for this? I want to because Westman Atelier is very expensive. And it's easy to apply, right? Like I do like the stick format. I just do that and I'm good to go. I think I would still use it just because it's easy to use. And I think just at this point, the only thing that I'd have an issue with is the cap just popping off. So I'd have to figure out how to store it so that it's safe, so that it doesn't get bronzer all over the place. One of the bronzers I added at the halfway mark was from Burberry. Yes, this is the Dark Earthy Blush in the color Light Glow. And this is what it looks like. It's a really good cool tone color bronzer. I love cream so much. Like, I don't really love powder bronzers as much. I just find it's so easy for them to get patchy, while with creams, they don't, right? They're so easy to blend out. I love the color of this bronzer, I really do. But there has been a couple times where I've used it where I'm like, it's looking a little patchy. Now, I used this 4 times this month, bringing my total usage to 11 times. It's just, I don't reach for powder products that much. And that's what was happening with this. It was just, it's so old and I was not using it. They don't even make a bronzer anymore. Like Burberry Beauty stopped being a thing. now has recently come back. Still, they don't have a bronzer. I hope they do though. I would love for them to bring back a bronzer because their foundation that they just came out with, fantastic. And again, I like this color, but it's like a lot of the times when I'm in a rush, when I'm trying to get ready, you really have to wait for your base makeup to dry before you apply bronzer. And sometimes I just want to put it on and go. So that's kind of more on me. I just prefer creams at this point to powders, but I do really like the color of that bronzer. Ugh. Blushes. It's literally my worst performing category every single time. It's so sad. But we have the MAC Glow Play blush in Cheeky Devil. I don't even want to talk about this one anymore, but I did use it 4 times this month, bringing my total usage to 7 times. Yes, this has been in my project pan since the beginning. It just doesn't get a whole lot of use. It's very, very light, and I feel like when I do use blush, I really am more into a much brighter blush right now. So I don't reach for this one a lot. It's this like cool little like, I mean, it feels amazing. It really does. This like kind of gel putty formula. It's weird, but I really do like it. It's so soft. It's so weird. But this is a very, very light color. So while I do like it for like if I'm running out to work, I just have realized that I'm kind of in a little bit of a bright blush phase, so I don't reach for this one a lot, obviously. But we got 1 more month in my project pan, so I would like to use that one more. Though I think this one needs a little more usage. This is from Sicily. This is the Fido Blush Eclat in the color 5 Pinky Coral. I got this one on sale. I think their blushes normally retail for like $98. This is very orange. You know, it looks like more of a subtle orange in here, but it's a pretty impactful orange, I would say. And I don't love orange blushes. I really don't love orange blushes or lip products as much as I want to. Like I want to, but they don't always work very well with my skin. So this one actually does, because I think it has the right amount of pink to it so that it's not like orange in your face, but it's just, it's not, I don't reach for it. I used it once. I didn't use it last month or the month before. I used it once total. So we are gonna use it more. Like the brush like is not even opened, because who uses the brush that they come with? I never do. Do you? I don't. But we need to use it more. This one I completely forgot about. Did not use it this month. Used it a total of 4 times. It's been in my project pan since the beginning. Did not use it. Did not use this. This is from Kaleidos. And it is their bright pink blush. Now, I always talk about how annoyed I get because they don't have the name of the blush on the packaging. While the packaging is beautiful, I would also like to know the name, and I don't know the name. So it's this bright pink. It's like that classic kind of cool tone blue pink that everyone loves. I just don't use it. It's great. I need to use it more. This is the month, okay? Because this is gonna be perfect for summer. This is such a good summer pink. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it. We are moving on to highlighters, or whatever this product is. I think technically it falls into the highlighter category, but this is from Danessa Myricks. This is their Dew Wet in Clear thing. Okay. I used it twice this month, bringing my total usage to 3 times. I do not like this product. That is why I have not been using it. Again, I've only used it 3 times in my project pan. Looks like a petri dish. Is not a petri dish. Looks like one. It does not dry down. So the problem I have with this formula is it just stays sticky throughout the day. I haven't figured out how to get it to work for me, unless that's what it's supposed to do. I get the concept of it. It's supposed to make your face kind of look like a little bit, you know, luminous without any sparkle. I do want to use it a few more times in the month of June. Oh my God, are we in June? Terrifying. But I just, as of right now, I do not like this product. You know, this, I subbed in at the halfway mark, and I had subbed out a highlighter from Kevyn Aucoin where I had the exact same issue. It was so beautiful. It was so sticky. I need products that dry down. I wear my hair down a lot. I hate when my hair gets in my makeup. It is like the worst feeling in the world. So we want to avoid that at all costs if possible. So we avoid products that stay sticky on the face. This is a product that I talked a lot about in my Get Ready With Me. So watch that video. But this made me doubt the closure of Jaclyn Hill. Like doubt or Jaclyn Cosmetics. Like, doubt that that was a good idea because this highlighter is fantastic. This is the Jaclyn Cosmetics highlighter, loose highlighter in the color Hypnotic. It's purple. It's beautiful, okay? It is so pretty, and nobody talked about it. I did not know. I had this in my collection. I put it in my project pan because I wasn't using it. Oh my God, it's so good. I only used it twice this month. I used it twice last month, so total 4 times. I don't have a whole lot of opportunities to use purple blush, I realized. I can make those opportunities though. I'm going to Vegas soon, and I kind of want to bring this because I just want purple highlighter on my face the entire time I'm in Vegas. This is fantastic. It's just so pretty. It's so finely milled. There are no large glimmer pieces, yet the entire thing is so impactful. It almost makes me sad that Jaclyn Cosmetics closed. I didn't really like anything else that I got from them, but this is special. This is special. Last highlighter in my project pan, this is from Tarte. This is their Maracuja Glow, Juicy Glow, in the color Pearlescent Glow. And it's just like their lip products, clickies up. This is great. This is great. The reason why I put it in my project pan is because this is another one that was just getting neglected. It doesn't look like a highlighter right off the bat, so I think I forgot it was a highlighter because I have quite a few of Tarte's Maracuja Juicy lip products, and I think I forgot about this one. So if you hear a train, it's a train. Now, I used this 3 times this month, bringing it my total to 7 times, and this is another product that I had subbed in at the halfway mark, so I'm gonna wait for the train to go by. The train is gone. Anyways, the Tarte highlighter, great, fantastic. I really like it. It's not super in your face. It's a little, it's not subtle either. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. It's something that I actually wear to work and am happy with the amount of shimmer it gives me. It's very pretty. We have one face palette. That is from Pat McGrath, and this is one of the collabs I did with Bridgerton. This is the Blush and Glow Trio Love at First Blush. I use this a total of 5 times, bringing my total usage to 8 times. It's really good. I really don't reach for the highlighter much. The highlighter is insanely glowy, so pretty, but I really like the blushes. So I do reach for the blushes quite a bit, especially the one in the middle, which is very much a more neutral blush, but it's got a little hint of shimmer in it, and it's just so pretty. And if you're not looking for anything in your face, it's a really good blush. So I have been enjoying using this. I'm glad I have been using it because I feel like the Bridgerton collection came out and everyone was kind of like, is this great though? And I do think that this product is pretty good. We have 3 loose eyeshadows. 2 of them are from Fear&A, which is an indie brand that no one really talks about, but I absolutely love. Their loose eyeshadows are amazing. So first up is their Arcane Magic Prismatic Thunderstorm loose eyeshadow. And I'm gonna try to show you the shift because this one is pretty cool. But I used this one once. I've only used it 3 times in my project pan. With Fear&A, I feel like the loose shadows just get lost in my collection. Loose shadows, I feel like, take an extra moment to use because if you go too fast, chances are you're gonna spill and get loose shimmer all over your face. And yeah, I just don't always have the time to clean that up. So I like having time to use this. This one's so pretty. It's like a purple, it's got a little bit of a greeny shift, so it looks really good on like a black eyeshadow base, but it's so pretty. The other loose eyeshadow that I have from Fear&A is in the color Bastette's Collar. This one I used in my Get Ready With Me, so it's got like a goldy green shift to it, but it looks more gold than anything when you have it on your eyes. It's really pretty as well. I just love how finely milled their loose eyeshadows are, and the color shifts are so pretty. They're so pretty. You should check them out because they're not that expensive either. Last but certainly not least, part of what I have on my eyes. This is from Moira. This is their loose eyeshadows in the color Bang. It's this bright pink color, and I've only used this a total of 3 times in my project pan, but basically I wanted to use it so I can compare it to the loose eyeshadows that I have from Hourglass and Victoria Beckham, because those are absolutely fantastic, and they do the same thing. They've got like a little lid in here to keep everything pressed down really tightly, and I think I've come to the decision that These from Moira are not quite as finely milled as the ones from Victoria Beckham and Hourglass. It's still beautiful. I still really love this color. It's very Barbiecore, but not quite as finely milled. What I do like about Moira's line though is that they actually have a more variety of colors. I feel like if you look at Hourglass, you look at Victoria Beckham's, they have like the same colors. It's like 6 colors and they're the same in both collections. And I have all of them. What can I say? I'm a sucker. But Moira actually has all these different beautiful colors. They have this bright purple that my friend here on the internet, Beauty and the Beaker, gave to me, and it's fantastic. And I use it all the time, which is why that's not in my project pan, because I use it. This one I was not using. I just was not using this bright pink. But I've now used it 3 times. 3 times. So I need to use it more in June. This is a great summer color. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it. So for May, the total amount of times that I use the items in my project pan is 104, which is the highest usage that I've had out of any month. Last month we used products 92 times, and that was the highest month before this month. So we are really dedicated. Total, I have used the products in my project pan 410 times. So we're getting quite a lot of usage out of this stuff. I have 1 more month to go. I want it to be my best month yet. So we will see. And I really want to have 100% an idea of how I feel about every single one of these products by the end of June. So I think we'll get there. I really do. Whew. I hope you enjoyed this update. I would love to hear from you if you're working on a project pan. How's it going? It's hard to not buy new stuff. I still am buying new stuff, but my project pan has really helped control the urge, especially when I look at how many times I've used some of these products and there's still plenty of product left, right? So going through some of these products takes so long. Like finishing a foundation for me takes a long time. So it's good for me to recognize that, to see it in action and be like, wow, I don't ever need another foundation. I will never finish my foundation collection, but we're trying. I hope you're having an amazing weekend, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.